everyone, and welcome back to the Sweet Shooters channel. Today I'm going to show you how to transform a original STI grip from this to this. I've been receiving a lot of questions about the grip on my competition STI. This is just a basic STI grip, and I've done some stippling to it. I also removed some materials from the trigger guard just to get a higher grip. So when you're gripping the gun now, it's more like you get more into the gun, so to speak. And also I removed some unnecessary materials from the entry of the Magwell here just to get it as large as possible. And to do this modification, you only need some basic tools actually. You need a Dremel or a Dremel-like tool, a soldering iron, a respiratory protection mask, eye protection, and of course a tactical pocket knife. These are not high quality tools. They are actually the cheapest one I could find, and you don't need more to be able to perform this modification. So let's get into it. And of course, as safety is always first, you want to use a respiratory protection mask, because since you're grinding in plastic, it will generate a whole lot of small plastic dust particles, which you don't want to be inhaling. And also you want to use eye protection for the same reason. So let's put these on. Hopefully you can still hear me, even though it's a bit muted. So let's start with removing some material from the trigger guard just to get the higher grip on the gun. I'm going to use my competition STI as reference, just to get it as close to exactly the same as this one. so that was the trigger guard. And next, let's move to the Magwell. And in order to do this just right, you'll need to mount the Magwell you intend to use. So let's do that. Let's take my practice gun. And of course, we need to take it apart. So let's do that by doing, there we go, like a walk in the park. If you have any questions about the disassembly part, just send me a message and I'll guide you through the process. It's really not that difficult. So let's take the Magwell and install it onto our new grip. There we go. And here's actually quite a bit of material to remove. Let me take it closer to the camera and show you guys. Here is a lot of material. We can round that edge off and also remove some. The same goes for the edges here. But you don't want to remove too much in the back here, as that's where the mainspring is supposed to be. So we don't want to be going through that wall. You can compare it to my competition STI. This has been rounded off, or whatever expression you want to use. And let's do the same to my practice STI. This is where the tactical pocket knife comes in. Okay, I think that turned out pretty good. But just to be sure, before you mount anything or before you continue doing anything else, let's get a magazine just to make sure that it drops freely and moves freely in there. Oh, I don't have any magazines here. Whoa, geez. Oh, I think I need to practice on that technique. Sorry guys and girls. So let's take the magazine. Okay, seems to be fine. Great. So let's just double check that everything fits as intended. Let's see the mag catch. Well, pretty good. It will break in eventually. That's not too much to care about. Let's go with the trigger. Perfect. Okay, so then we only have one thing left, or two things actually. We have the stippling and the assembly part. That's the old grip. Let's remove that. So we don't need the Dremel tool anymore. Let's remove that too. And let's take out our soldering iron. You want to have a pretty high temperature on this one, so I'll plug it in and then just give it a few minutes to make it heat up. Okay, so now when it's hot, we can start with the stippling. But to make sure you have reached the right temperature, you may want to touch the edge here with your finger just to... No, I'm just kidding. You don't want to do that. It hurts. But one thing you do want to make sure to use though is the respiratory protection mask, because this will generate some fumes, which I think is not that healthy to inhale. So make sure you have your mask on. Then let's start the stippling. I'm trying to keep the iron in a somewhat 45-ish degree angle, and I don't want to use more than maybe 50% of the tip to get the correct pattern. But let's start with underneath the trigger guard. Okay, so that was the bottom of the trigger guard. And before continuing with the rest of the grip, I will just get a glass of water, so I'll be right back. Ah, that was a lot better. So let's continue with the rest of the grip. Okay, so there we go. One side is done. 3 sides left. Let me see if I can't speed up the process a little. Okay, I'm a bit nervous, but here we go. What the hell, Mickey Mouse? Okay, that seemed to work a bit better. Let's have a look. Ah, awesome. Oh, so let me just remove the mask and also put this one in a safe place while it cools down. And I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I'm back. Well, the only things left to do now is to put everything back together. One last time. Whew, it worked. Everything seems okay, but I was really nervous there. So, anyhow, there you have it. That's how you do an easy grip modification on your STI or whatever gun you may use, as long as you have a plastic or polymer grip that allows you to do this kind of modification. And like I mentioned before, it's really not that difficult. It may look difficult, especially with the disassembly part, but once you've done it, you know how how it works. And the first time it will perhaps take you, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe in total to get everything done. And if you have any questions or such, just pop me a message and I'll guide you through the process. The only thing you really have to watch out for is when removing material from the grip. As you know, if you remove too much, then too bad, the grip is ruined and you'll have to buy a new one. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So I hope you liked what you saw. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.